Alright, hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the severe weather outbreak that will be for the south central US, and this will be regarding very intense winds that could be greater than 65 knots, which is basically the equivalent of hurricane force winds, as well as large hail, possibly bigger than 2 inches in diameter. So a very active day is brewing and is ready to kick off here as I'm recording this. We do have the ignition getting ready to go for these storms to get ready to fire off. So you can see here we do have a moderate risk of severe weather right there in Kansas and Oklahoma, with that slight risk and marginal risk going all the way out into Ohio and into West Virginia, and also all the way up. We have a risk of severe weather all the way from Minnesota and Wisconsin. Even looks like it's very, very clipping the upper peninsula of Michigan all the way down to Texas. So that's something that it's a very big risk area is what I'm trying to say here. Excuse me. So this is something we're going to be watching for tonight and overnight while we're sleeping. Storms could be damaging. So that's why you want to have multiple ways to receive warnings tonight. So tornado threat, really not there. It's 5% chance for in both areas. There's a small risk of it. You can see that 2% hatched, 2% area. It's not hatched, by the way. 5% in those areas in Kansas, and 1 in Nebraska as well. So we could expect a few spin-ups today. I'm not expecting a lot, but yet again, could be a few. Wind threat, this is going to be the big one. 45% chance of 65 knots or greater. But ignore the colors. We do have the hatched area, which is 65 knots or greater. Very big chance of that in that area. So that's something we're going to be keeping an eye on and making sure that, doesn't get too out of hand, even though we can't really control weather. But that's just something we're going to keep an eye on. Alright. So, yeah, make sure you have multiple ways to receive warnings if you live in the this area tonight. Also, hail, we do have that hatched risk as well. 2 inch hail or greater is possible. That's of course diameter. So that's something we're going to be keeping an eye on as well. So potentially hazardous hail will be falling as well with these storms. Another thing we want to make sure to take a look at, watch while we're going through the severe weather outbreak tonight. So it's going to be it's definitely going to be a severe weather outbreak. Possibly a few spin-ups in the atmosphere of tornadoes, but a lot of damaging winds and hail. Now I want to go ahead and take you guys to the NAM 3KM model. So you can see it's showing that we do have this kind of some moisture out in front of this, and this is not the lead system. So you can see it right here. We're starting to see the main system begin to develop, and this will be what's going to cause all the mayhem. So you'll see fully developed going through Kansas. And right there in that panhandle is going to be get very hard. I also want to point out how we have one line, but you can see this storm right here. It's kind of bent from very strong straight line winds, as well as this one. This is also some strong straight line winds pushing into it. So it's going to be something we got to watch. And then we can see this one also developing into that kind of feature as well. So very strong winds, like I said, with these possibly category 1 hurricane force winds. And you can see very strong when it gets right here through the middle of Oklahoma, really. You can see it almost has like it has like a kind of a dent right there in the middle, a bump right there. Now that's another signature. We are definitely going to have very strong winds in this area, so that's something we're going to make sure to watch. And excuse me. So that's something we're going to watch as well. So, this whole area in the south, basically this area right here, gives me the very big area of concern. I'm kind of worried about it as well. I think that this could be a very big day for severe weather, as it's already brewing out to be. And you can see here as it moves through Oklahoma, very strong, even as it crosses the border in Texas, but it still loses a little bit of that strength. And then we get some of that moisture to shift into Arkansas, but we still have that remaining amount in Texas as well, with some storms firing up here in Kansas again, moving into Missouri as well. So that's something that we're gonna watch as we go through here. So I'll make sure we're gonna keep an eye on this, and hopefully it won't be too bad of a severe weather outbreak, and hopefully we don't have a lot of damage or tornadoes. So that's something we're gonna keep an eye on. Now I'm gonna go to the HER model, so you can see the HRRR model, high resolution rapid refresh, depicting these storms beginning to ignite right now. It's like someone's sparking a candle, sparking that spark, and it's that electricity. Now we can see them. This is a few hours out. You can see this is probably nighttime, maybe kind of early afternoon, late evening. This is where we get the storms firing up in Kansas, going through a lot of urban areas. So strong storms as they move into Kansas. They're really strong. You can see we get another thing I want to point out, because moisture behind it is going to be a very big killer right here. You can see it starts popping off right there in Oklahoma, in more central Oklahoma, and you'll see that happen right about now. You can see that those storms pop up from that moisture left behind, and that will be a pretty big shot right here at the heart of Oklahoma. So that's something we're going to keep an eye on as well. So you can just look at that, how that just kind of develops right there. We get that moisture behind it. You can see we start right here. There's really nothing behind this thing, no moisture, except for very far up kind of northwest to it. And we go one more hour out, 8 hours from 8 hour forecast hour 8. So this is late now, very late. We get that moisture beginning, and then we're gonna go again. You can see we get more of that beginning to form. Get that moisture. That first line deteriorates. I can't talk. Deteriorates. There we go. And then we get that as well. Now I want to take you to look at the CAPE index as well. So you can see here that currently we do have very good amounts of CAPE. This is the European. This is the GFS. The GFS model. 4,000 in Texas, basically like 5,000 in area 6. As we move through time, 10 p.m. you can see Oklahoma, almost 4,000 CAPE in some areas, so very strong here. Actually, I want to go ahead and take you guys just to look at wind really quick, so you can see what the setup is for this as well. So for the setup here, you got your Gulf moisture coming in. And you can almost see kind of right here, this we have a cold front basically right there almost. You can see that. And you can also see the cold air coming in from the kind of west and the north. And then we get that mixture right here to create some very big storms to fire up. So that's the setup basically, but that CAPE index is very strong. A lot of CAPE is available for these storms to fire off, especially in Oklahoma, Elk City, Oklahoma City, in this area right here, Lawton, Oklahoma, some Tulsa also very close to, it's going to be in the risk area as well, so big cities here in the risk of severe weather today. And you can tell it's going to be a pretty good setup. So that's 11 p.m. tonight, and if we go, so current time 4 p.m. you can see this is 4 p.m. and you can see here CAPE all the way up. This is 5 p.m. actually. Hold on. We're gonna go low, so you can see CAPE all the way, very strong CAPE, reaching all the way into Wisconsin. Not strong. We got 2,000 CAPE in Wisconsin, Iowa 3,000s. As we get into Kansas and Oklahoma, 4,000. So this is very good, suitable conditions for storms to begin firing off. Now, everyone, this is the last thing I wanted to show you for today's video. Basically, this is the shear in the air. So you can see here, we do have some shear there, not a lot, not intense like we had for that Easter Sunday outbreak of severe weather. But this one, you know, it's not too bad. This is a good amount of shear to have some lift to these storms, potentially produce some supercells out of them. I'm expecting some supercells today with some wall clouds. I also expect some tornadoes to possibly drop down, some danger noodles. I'm sorry about that. I had to say it. I had to say danger noodles. I do expect danger noodles though today, or tornadoes if I'm being professional. That's just something with this year. We have a decent amount of it in that risk area to expect some type of possible tornado. Maybe we'll see what happens. So I guess we'll have to find out as we go through. Maybe we'll get a tornado. Maybe we'll get one. Maybe we'll get two. Maybe we'll get none. That's just how it's going currently. So that's about it. That's all I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want more weather-related content. Thank you guys for all the positivity in these videos. Thank you for kind of encouraging me to keep doing this. I enjoy this a lot. I am having a fun time doing this for YouTube. So yeah, make sure to leave a like, maybe subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next weather-related video. Goodbye, everyone, and stay safe. I love you all. Goodbye.